The case against the 7 suspects arrested in connection with the Free State asbestos project has now been postponed to the 19th of February of 2021 by the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. The reason for this postponement was that more investigations regarding the case needs to be done. Newzroom Afrika's Dumaulo Mohlaudi is outside the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court and joins us now. Dumaulo, talk us through the latest, especially gauging the reaction of those crowds that are gathered outside that court.
Well, a very lively crowd outside the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court, making their voices heard, really singing and, in a celebratory, jovial mood. We haven't had an opportunity to step out to them to really get what their exact sentiments are. However, judging by the amount of exuberance and the amount of noise that they're making, certainly seeing this as something of a positive light. Of course, the matter being postponed, as you've just mentioned, until next year. I'm now going to speak to Paladi Shuping, who's the NPA's spokesperson for Free State. Mr. Shuping, in terms of what transpired in court, what does this mean?
Well, basically what it means is that we'll be coming to court again on the 19th of February next year, because we requested a postponement because there are issues that are still outstanding pertaining to our investigations. But our hope is that on the 19th of February we have finalized all the outstanding issues pertaining to investigations. Then we will be in a position to transfer the matter to the High Court, as a decision has already been taken that the appropriate platform to deal with this matter will be in the High Court.
Are some of these outstanding issues you describe issues of more arrests linked to this asbestos matter?
Well, as you are aware that whenever there is an investigative process underway, there's always a possibility of more charges being added against the accused or more accused being arrested. So we cannot rule out the possibility of more charges and more accused being added to the case. But we'll get to know on the 19th of February next year as to whether we have arrested, whether other people have been added, or if other charges have been added, what kind of charges would have been added.
And finally, can you give us some clarity? What is the status in terms of the Edwin Sodi allegations that he had tried to bribe an officer or offer cash to an officer when he was in custody?
Well, that's a situation that is under investigation by the police. We have not received any docket pertaining to that issue, so we can only respond once there is a docket that has been brought to us by the SAPS.
All right. No, thank you very much. We'll leave it there. That was Paladi Shuping, and he's the NPA spokesperson here in the Free State, just giving an overview of what happened and some clarity on what is going on, especially with the allegations that one of the accused in this 215 million rand asbestos case, Edwin Sodi, allegedly tried to bribe an officer while he was in custody. So we will still keep a close eye on these developments as far as this story goes, to get what happens in that particular matter. But as far as things go in court, we tried to solicit some kind of response after the magistrate made his ruling today from Edwin Sodi and others. And when we posed the questions, how do they feel? Do they have anything to say? Edwin Sodi turned around and gave a smile, a brief little smile, and said, "Not at the moment." So certainly not prepared to comment on any capacity at that stage, but we just had to try and see exactly how he feels about what's going on. But what I can tell you about the crowds gathered outside court today, we had two sides, if I can call it that. We had one side that was pro those who were appearing in court facing all those allegations and charges. They are saying that, of course, reiterating what they've always held in terms of a view, saying that this case is politically motivated, especially when it relates to Oli Mulamleli, who is the former Mangaung mayor. As far as the other side is concerned, which is the side that is saying that the full might of the law should basically be applied to ensure that those who are before the court then get what is coming to them. They feel that the court should not be biased and should not be intimidated by political protests outside court. So they were coming here to say that they support the court process and they want justice to be seen to be done. With that, it's back to you in studio.
Now, Tumalo, it's quite interesting to learn that more arrests could follow here, and the list of those appearing and being charged could get even longer. As we look at that matter and try and perhaps go into the depth of this case and the names that we heard throughout the State Capture Commission of Inquiry process, let's talk a little bit more about those kind of others who stand to be implicated here.
All right, before we go to talk to the others, I just wanted to give you a developing situation outside court. Just moments ago, a large crowd of ANC supporters has just pitched up outside court. They are singing and they've basically blockaded the streets outside court. And they are out here saying that they are calling for Anti-Magashule to be arrested. They saying that all those linked to the asbestos corruption should be brought to book. So they are out here and they are marching and they are making their voices heard. So this is the situation right now. These are part of the supporters of those who basically held a press briefing yesterday. Let us speak to them. Sir, you are out here. Have you heard what happened in court?
Yeah, no, we have not yet heard, but we are told, some people told us that the matter has been postponed. We don't know until when, because other people need to be added to the charge sheet. As we know, that there has been
Okay, we are trying to just get out of shot, out of the street, so that we can speak to. So just tell us exactly, again, the question is, have you heard what happened in court and what is your feeling?
Yes, we are told the matter has been postponed, and then we are going to have a short statement by Comrade Nkolisi Dukwana just now here. He will outline processes of what's going to happen. You can take him again live like yesterday tomorrow. You can take him live in a couple of minutes. In a couple of minutes, I will bring him to you.
Okay.
I promise you I'll bring Nkolisi Dukwana and Shupi Malebu to you to tell you.
I have to ask this question. The ANC in the Free State has basically come out to say that the press conference you held yesterday with Mr. Nkolisi was outside their ambit as the party, and that you are pushing factional divisions and doing your own thing because the party in the province has made its pronouncements in terms of where it stands. What is your reaction to that?
You know, Tumaul, it's a laughing matter basically. That we don't recognize them first and foremost. Their conference, I said it publicly at Luthuli House. I'm repeating it again. The matter is in court as we speak, right? They were elected in a conference that lasted 80 minutes. In the history of the ANC, that has never happened. It has never happened when at Maul, right? Where there is no word, how do you have a conference that there's no resolutions? When we speak of NASREC, you will tell me that we speak of radical social economic transformation, expropriation of land without compensation, and many other resolutions that were taken, right? But have you ever heard what Free State Provincial Conference of 2018 resolved on? There was no resolutions. How do you have a conference? How do you have a conference of a ruling party, right, that leads a provincial government without resolutions? We don't recognize them first and foremost. We don't recognize that structure. We see them as illegitimate. They are imposters. They are imposters. They are imposing themselves as leaders of the ANC. So therefore, whatever they say, to us it is water on a duck's back. They can call us factionalists. They can call us whatever. We don't care because they are illegitimate. They are illegitimate, and very soon the court of the Free State High Court will declare that. What I'm saying to you today, you can say I'm a Sangoma, you can call me a prophet. But what I'm saying to you today, you will hear. They will be disbanded. And the NEC will intervene. That is one of the reasons why we march to the house. So whatever they say to Maole, it's water on a duck's back.
So let's talk about the Saudi matter now. In the asbestos corruption trial that is currently now before the Magistrates Court, it's now being postponed to next year. In terms of the processes and this whole asbestos matter, what is your view?
Well, there is somebody that has been served with a a warrant of arrest. This person has been going around saying to us he wants his day in court. Finally. He'll have his day in court. He will speak for himself. We are happy about that. Let the matter be postponed. Let's allow the judicial system their space to do their work and come out with outcomes that will be satisfactory to everybody, I believe. So D and his co-accused, including former mayor, they are South African citizens like me. They deserve all the dignity and the rights that is enshrined within our constitution. Let them then have their day in court and let them answer for themselves with their legal teams. It is fine. Thank you. We will bring police to you, and we see you at
that was Dion Liu there, and he was part of that press conference by Mkolisi Dukwana yesterday. A press conference that the ANC here provincially, we spoke to the ANC saying that Mkolisi Dukwana and others, including the gentleman I just spoke to now, basically did the press conference and were acting under their own ambit, and that they are pushing a factional agenda because the provincial ANC does not endorse that particular press conference and does not endorse their views, saying that party matters should be handled within party structures. So that's exactly where we stand right now. So it was all action and high commotion here outside the court. Of course, the police are also out in full force. As you can see, their vehicles are here to keep law and order. However, the supporters pro Anti-Magashule, pro Oli Mlamleli, the former mayor who is now before the dock, and those who are against them have been quite disciplined. Yes, they've been making their voices heard. However, there's been no indication of any violence. They've just been singing and making sure that they make their voices heard. And with that, I will throw back to you in the studio.
All right then, Tumaole Zianda here. I wonder then if those on the ground are aware of a briefing that's going to be held and led by Deputy Secretary General Jesse Duarte and Paul Mashatile this afternoon. If you're still in a position to do so, Tumaole, ask them whether or not they want to see the ANC's NEC decision, which says that those implicated in corruption must step aside, what they feel about that and what they think the ANC should communicate when they hold that briefing later on this afternoon.
All right, what I will do, Zianda, is I will see if I can find Mr. Liu just to get a sense of what his view is about the question you just asked. The crowd is quite large, so I don't know if I can find him, but if you could just stay with me, I'm going to make my way around. As I said, it's quite a spectacle. There's a lot of people, so the traffic is also interjecting. If I cannot find him, I will try to speak to some of the rank and file to see if maybe they are willing to answer some of the questions. Good day, sir. How are you? Would you be willing to speak to us on Newsroom? Okay. Some of the people here are really reluctant to speak. Zianda, what I will do is I will try to get hold of Mr. Liu, and if you can get back to me in a few moments, I will pose that question directly to him.